All right, Jill, Scott, and I came up with this idea. We called it W.E.T, Watershed Environmental Trivia. It's either a trivia game for cards or a board game. You can use it either or. The features or the categories or question types are fun facts, history of water, land use, watersheds, and best management practices. The board game option, we added a water cards section that we'll get to later. And this is an example of the cards that are for the trivia card game section. So how many gallons of water? Anyone have any ideas?
Raise your hand.
6.
6. Bill?
6.
6.
Anybody else?
See?
So fun
Winners
fact,
get candy, so you better guess good.
that's an example.
Scott.
Scott will go into a more in depth. The goal of the game is to develop as a part of the effort to encourage people to start thinking about the importance of water in their daily lives, from youngsters to adults. It can be used at home, classroom, and it can get attendees of a meeting engaged. A lot of environmental education material gets thrown out after people read it, and we wanted to create something more durable that people can enjoy for years, as well as being adapted so it can be personalized to your watershed or area and updated easily. The game has over 70 trivia cards. We put them in sections. The green is like first to third, orange is third through 6th grade, and then red 7 to advanced, kind of a stab in the dark with those. They overlap or whatever. But each card is also laminated, put in a protective sleeve, has the question, and then you pull it out, and the answer's on the back. So if you answer it right, you keep the card. If not, then it's discarded, and at the end of the trivia part of the game, whoever has the most wins. So it's pretty simple, and then it's got all the fun facts in it and what have you. So then we went into a board option, which is a lot more funner and gets youngsters engaged. You start on the sold house, so the idea is like you're a new resident of this community with this watershed, and then you get the different tributaries and different parts of a watershed. You got city, industry, farm, suburbs, waste facility site up there at the top right. To play, you start at sold, and you roll dice, and the dice has 1, 2, or 3. You go that many spaces. The different colors are green. If you land on green, that's a free one. If you land on red or yellow, you draw a card, and you try to answer it. If you answer it wrong, you get another try your next turn. And then on the 3rd try, you get the answer, and you have to roll again on your next turn to advance. And in this part, we came up with water cards that are just fun facts. They're either negative or positive. This is a positive one. You decide to install a permeable driveway, and then it tells why. That's an advantage, and then the advanced one, roll again. A negative example would be like, you get caught with your dog defecating in the park, and okay, go back one space. Here's one that we customized it. Anyone can do it for their own area that they live in. And here's Scott. He's gonna try a couple cards if you can.
Okay, so now you get candy if you get right, but if you get wrong, you probably don't get lunch. So, how long can a person live without water? Give me a hand. Oh.
A week.
And the answer is a week. You can't answer anymore. What's wrong with the rest of you people?
We want lunch.
Well, how much does 1 gallon of water weigh? Bill?
8.34.
8.34. is a tough one. I couldn't believe this one. How much water drops on an inch of rain on an acre of ground?
Raise your hand.
What?
D.
No. You don't get lunch. No lunch for you.
I got a car off of
Give me another guess.
C.
No lunch for you, whoever said that. Who said that? All right, very good. That's a lot of water. Yeah, you better give one to somebody that's going to get lunch. What's the best management practice shown here? Grass waterway. I think this. Make sure you get your candy. Here's an interesting trivia question, though. Since I'm from Wisconsin, when I moved up there, if a car goes through the ice, like in Green Bay, out on the lake, you get 24 hours to remove it, or it's a $1,000 a day fine. And when I first moved up there, I said, "Do you want insurance for going through the water?" And I said, "What? Going through the ice?" They said they put these little flotation things that float up when your car goes through there. And I thought, if you buy those, you have the possibility of that happening. The mindset has got to be wrong there. But anyways, all right, I'm not going to read all this. Read it and give me an answer.
A.
A.
A is the correct answer.
What did Candy? I didn't hear who said it.
I did. Is it chocolate? I did.
She wants the whole bag. Okay,
There's Snickers, there's Reese's, and there's...
each watershed is identified by Huck. What is Huck? Right there.
unit code.
Hydrologic unit code. That was way too easy.
Well, not some.
True or false? Leaves should be right down to a storm train decompose in the stream to provide food for fish.
Do you have a stop?
I like
Is there
that
another one
idea.
with
That's a
zero?
good one. You can flood your neighbors that way.
Is there another one? Okay.
False.
Yay.
Okay. Can anybody name me the starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers?
Aaron Rodgers.
Roger Staubach.
I have no idea.
Okay, to make sure the games went smoothly, we did some trials. We had a game, or a group of 6 people aging in range from 12 to 26 who played the trivia game first. Having no background in water or watersheds, they actually did fairly well, and they had fun doing it. After they finished playing, we made some adjustments to the game, and then a week later, we brought back basically the same group. We had one alternate, but he was the same age, and they played the board game. They seemed to really like the board game just because they had visual competition. They tried to knock people off and laughed if they got sent back and they got to pass. My mom, who is the caregiver, mom and foster parent to all of these kids, or at least most of them, really liked it because the kids got to read out loud and got to practice, and some of them struggled. All of the trivia questions we found online using credible sources. These were the sources that we used. So all the information should be correct. If it is not, it's not our fault. If you want a copy of this game, you're going to need a copy of our trivia questions that are already laid out in the proper template. If you want to make your own, you can have a blank template. This is a way you can create it for your local area. Since I'm from Fort Wayne, this would be a question for Fort Wayne. Anybody know the answer? Where does the Maumee, St. Joe, and St. Mary's River end up? Correct, Lake Erie. Optional items were the card sleeves and the card box, which are just standard magic card items. You can get them at any game store for a few dollars. And then if you want the board game, you can either make it yourself or print a large copy. We just laminated everything, and the dice is foam, so you can do it yourself. Well, we hope you enjoyed the game as much as